Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today, wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. In this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Great Reset. Some of you wanted me to mention it. Other people said mention the chip that Ripple's behind. Other people said talk about CBDCs and where the US is as far as a CBDC. I'm going to try to address all of that in one video. So let's take a look. Don't get caught up on price. Amazon was also cheap at some point. Microsoft was also cheap at some point. Tesla was also cheap at some point. Then they went on a tear. Time will tell. Know what you hold or someone else will take it from you or encourage you to sell it. Now, if you hold XRP, you know exactly what you hold. You hold your financial freedom. And no FUD will ever shake you out of it. If you held through 2022, you can definitely hold through anything. Turkey launches CBDC pilot, introduces blockchain digital ID. Separately, yesterday, the Turkish vice president announced a blockchain-based digital identity system that citizens will use to log into the existing e-government portal. In addition to using it for login, the e-wallet will enable users to keep data securely on their mobile phones and support offline services. That's how it starts. It starts with the CBDC, then the digital ID. And what comes next is the social credit system. The recent crypto market turmoil highlights the urgency of tackling the risk. There are different lines of policy action, including issuing central bank digital currencies to encourage sound innovation. You take notice how they're tying CBDCs directly to the fall of FTX, the turmoil inside the crypto space. But yet, none of that affected any of the ISO coins. Because we're in crypto, we know better. This is a narrative that they feed to the people outside of crypto. This economists suggest improving TradeFi with CBDC to attract users away from crypto. Economists at the BIS took a look at the risk inherent in the crypto ecosystem and came up with a seemingly novel solution: develop an alternative. They advised in a bulletin released on January 12th what they had in mind was a CBDC. The authors of the bulletin, headed by the BIS senior economist, said they sought lessons from the crypto winter that descended in 2022. The recent failures in crypto asset markets underscore the need to address the risk presented by crypto before those markets become systemic. So what I feel they're doing here is this. They sold a narrative that crypto is going to zero. Look at everything that's crashing out inside of crypto. Now, to sell it to the people outside of crypto, because most people seeing the headlines, they feel crypto's going to zero or there's problems with it. They want to release a digital currency, a government currency, a currency that's used inside of that country. But later, they'll tie it to the CBDC around the world, and they'll use XRP and Ripple to move money from this country to that country like a trust layer. Plus, they're still going to have to utilize on-demand liquidity at some point. In the last few months, the U.S. has made significant strides towards implementing a central bank digital currency in the U.S., but it's far from the only country making an effort. Now, most countries already started their transition into a CBDC. I feel the US is maybe a little bit behind, or they're caught up and working behind the scenes. The US is inching closer to issuing their own CBDC. The term FedCoin has been used for a shorthand reference to the US version of a CBDC. It would follow on the heels of several other governments around the world which have already launched their own CBDC. Perhaps most notably the People's Bank of China. Through a number of pilot programs have been started, only a handful have made the transition to full official rollouts. In addition to the White House's Executive Order 14067 and the resulting fact sheet, most recent detailing several plans of action. This comes as several other nations have either piloted or officially released their own central bank digital currencies. So I feel what's going to happen here in the U.S. is because we're never going to vote in a CBDC, period. It's not going to happen. they're going to have to create an emergency situation where they can roll out the Fed CBDC very fast. The Great Reset. The 52 heads of state and hundreds of government officials collaborating with the World Economic Forum at Davos 2023. When you look at this list, it's scary because these are presidents of countries, prime ministers of countries, people that hold offices of power throughout the world. These are the same people pushing that same 2030 agenda. That's why it's gaining so much momentum right now. We need to stop it before it's too late. You will all have implants. Klaus Schwab and Google co founder look ahead to transhumanism. Can you imagine that in 10 years, when we are sitting here, we will have an implant in our brains, and I can immediately feel what you are feeling because you all will have implants. I won't have an implant. I don't know what Klaus is so excited about because I'm never getting it. And I definitely don't want to know what he's feeling, period. Over the past year or more, Glenn Beck has focused on exposing the global threat of the Great Reset. 5 things the Great Reset will ban to protect the climate. We see gas-powered stoves. They're already pushing towards that right now. And that, again, that comes from the World Economic Forum too. Next will be gas-powered heating and air conditioning. So think about it. You want to have air conditioning and it runs on gas. All of a sudden, it's outlawed. And I'm sure neighbors are going to be turning neighbors in for using it because that's how divided the country is right now. Gas-powered cars. Now Washington State and Oregon is also on board with New York and California to do that as well. Next will come meat. You won't have a choice at the grocery store, but it goes beyond just beef. It's chicken, milk, and eggs as well. Then it'll be your freedom. It's clear the World Economic Forum and left-leaning globalist leaders intend to push this agenda regardless of your individual choice. It's one thing to pursue a green lifestyle on your own accord. It's another thing altogether to not have meat as an option in the grocery store, being forced to go without heating weekly to ration the power grid, not being able to sell your home because of outdated, harmful gas-powered appliances, or not being allowed to sell your car because it's not electric. Is this the future you want to live in? It's not the future I want to live in. And I still believe if you have a gas-powered car in the future, to drive that car, you will have to buy carbon offsets. Everything is pushing in that direction. World Economic Forum and World Economic Forum puppets will meet in Davos next week, protected by 5,000 soldiers armed to the teeth. Why? Because they will own real estate, you won't. They'll own gas vehicles, you won't. They will own pets, you won't. They will own gas stoves, and you won't. They will fly, you won't. They will eat meat, and you won't. They will be free, and you won't. That's what it's coming down to. This whole Agenda 2030 is built all on hypocrisy. Everything that they're doing on a day-to-day, day-to-day, they don't want you to do, period, in the future. And they'll continue doing it while you can't. Excited to see Ripple join again at the annual World Economic Forum meeting in Davos 2023. Now, we know Ripple is directly tied to the World Economic Forum. Brad is a board member there. We know XRP is the chosen crypto because of this, to be utilized in between 2 CBDCs. Then people told me I need to talk about this again and warn people, so here it is. No microchip implant, the mark of the beast. You will get chipped eventually, says CNBC. Well, apparently CNBC hasn't called me up yet because I am not getting this chip, period. And I do believe that you will have to take it in the future if you want to buy food or anything else. I would rather starve first. The New World Order has made their moves along with the World Economic Forum, who, HHS, and others want to achieve the mark of the beast system, where no man can buy or sell unless they have a mark. This is the foundation they're building around us, while knocking folks off with both pandemic and shots. They're going to tie that chip to all of this: healthcare, financial services, food and sustainability, travel, mobility, humanitarian response, e-commerce. social platforms, e-government, telecommunications, and smart cities. I believe they want to contain people in those smart cities. This way, they have better control over it. If people are able to move the way they move now, they can't control you as easily. Ripple, how soon after the settlement does Klaus want to roll out the wearable version before full implant mode is mandatory? Can't wait. So Bychip, U.S. company, microchip implants employees, and XRP, and it's tied directly to XRP and the cashless society that's coming. So Bychip, this is what it actually is. It's a chip that they would put into you where you'll be able to go into the store and buy things using your hand or some other means, but it will definitely be part of you. And I'm going to show you why it would be part of you permanently. But one thing I want to point out here is this. There have been few links to Bychip, the U.S. Navy, and Ripple. If these are the signs of the future, XRP will play a big role in cross-border payments. Most people will be using XRP and won't even know that they are using it. How many times have I said that? When watching some of these videos, it seems like the time right before the internet explosion, and some reporters are dumbfounded by it. This is going to be the biggest thing to roll out in our lifetime, a whole new financial system. Think about that. The current financial system has been around for 49 years. That gives you a good look at what's to come. And like I said, the normies of the world that hate crypto, that say, I'll never buy that useless monopoly money, will be using it on a daily basis and not even know it. But the reason that this chip is so dangerous is because it literally attaches to you. So you see the tissue bonding cap. It will actually adhere itself to your tissue inside of your hand. Then it has an antenna. And I'm trying to think, why would they put an antenna in here? Well, that would tie you right into the 5G system. Then you have your ID chip that will tell them everywhere you are at any given time. This is the most dangerous thing I have ever seen. More debt and higher inflation. They are racing to the bottom to usher in a new system, which will rise from the ashes, XRP, XLM, with regulatory clarity. And they are rushing to get this all rolled out as soon as possible. Look how fast things are moving. From 2020 to 2023, things moved faster than I've ever seen. Every single country rolling out a CBDC, a digital currency at the same time. Some countries are already onto the social credit system. Other other countries are just now getting to digital IDs. It happens very fast. And that's why you need to stay awake to this. And Ripple is literally at the heart of all of it. The one crypto that we invest in, XRP, the same crypto that will set us financially free in the future, is our one chance to maybe avoid the CBDC system. Other people feel that something else is going to happen before then, that the system will never go live. I don't know what's going to happen. No one does. We can only speculate. But what I do know is when you look at facts of things, it doesn't look good for people in the future. They're going to price us out very fast. Think about it. It starts with the gas stoves and trickles down. Before you know it, you're going to have to make massive improvements to your home to cut off CO2 emissions. Those costly, upgrades that you're going to have to do will most likely price you right out of your house because most people, they're used to having a coal stove, a gas stove, whatever the case may be. All of a sudden, now you have to get this new electric system put into your house that's tied to the power grid so they could track how much power you're using because they're going to be able to shut your power off in the future if you're using too much. They're going to be able to cut you off your food if you're eating too much. It all comes down to them controlling you on a daily basis under a hypocritical system that they're building now. But I wanted to touch on all of that because a lot of you mentioned it in the comments and said, do a video on this. You're not telling people the whole truth around Ripple. I think I covered it pretty well. Let me know. But again, when I bought XRP, I never thought I would have to open my Bible. I'm not a religious person, But when you read certain things, it's really an eye opener of what's to come in the future. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you watching my videos. We'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.